Hello, our Truth Warriors. How are we all today? I've been looking at things that have been popping up on social media and posts and groups, and something is concerning me. Something that I think maybe a lot of people don't realise how it can escalate and how it could be a problem, and that is a run on the bank. Now, for all of you that remember the movie It's a Wonderful Life, there was a run on the bank, and everybody wanted to take the cash out because they had lost confidence with the bank, and because of that it was going to collapse one gentleman's bank and somebody else was going to benefit from it. Now, this means that if this gathers speed and people are able to go to the bank and start withdrawing cash, you would think that would be okay because the bank has got lots of money in there and it wouldn't harm them whatsoever. In the reality of the situation, it actually only takes 1% of all depositors to go in and remove the cash that they have in the bank to cause a crash on the banks. Now, that is disastrous on so many levels right now. Back in 2013, if those who are not aware, in Canada, they actually brought something called the bail-in into play. Now, the bail-in means that the system has changed in regards to what happens when there is a crash. And if you remember back in 2008 when we had a financial crash, then the government and the banks, they were all bailed out, and that was from the government and taxpayers' money. And if you can remember, a lot of these banks took huge loans from the US and Canada and many other places around the world to make sure that these too big to fail institutions didn't fail. Right now, that's not the situation. The bail-in that they have enacted means that the next crash, the banks are legally allowed to take your money straight from your account and use it to bail themselves out. And this is what happened in Cyprus. And if people want to look up Cyprus bail-in, they can Google that and you will find out what happened there. So it's not a good thing, people. It means that 1% of the people going in now and drawing money out will collapse the system, and 99% of us will lose anything that we have in the bank while the bank decides what to do with it in order to cover their backsides. And I don't think that's reasonable nor fair. The digital currencies are in place, the likes of the Fed coin in the US, and I'm sure Canada will have things in place. The digital currency is an inevitability. It will eventually come out. It is the way that things are moving forward in the future. I don't like the idea of it. I'm not a fan of it because of what I've seen happen with a similar system in China, where there's a social scoring system, and that social scoring system tracks the individual. And for those who are not aware of the social scoring system in China, again, go online, look up social scoring system and get an idea on how it works. I'll briefly outline it. If you are a good little citizen, you're not speaking out against the government, and you're doing exactly what they said, you will have a high social score. If you are opposing what the government's doing or saying things on social media that is not liked and is frowned upon, they will find that, because they basically have an algorithm system that can report it, and they will cut your social scoring system, which means you may not be able to travel. Even worse, they may cut your bank accounts. But even stranger is anybody who is connected in your friends' circles will also lose credits for being associated with you. So in China, a lot of people are losing friends and family that don't want anything to do with them. They are cast out, so to speak. And this is something that is their control mechanism to shut you down. and control you. I mean, when cash has gone, and I am a big fan of cash, its liquidity and its ability to buy things. If, let's say you went to a gas station to put gas in, or a store to buy groceries, and your card did not work, all of a sudden, pull out some cash, pay for your goods, no problem whatsoever. We are at risk of a digital system stopping us. It could be an electrical failure. We saw the 5 big banks the other day, which I found extremely unusual because none of the systems are connected, all go down at the same time. Were they implementing something and putting something in place as a safeguard? Are they expecting something to happen? I really don't know, but I did find it strange. But I think if we can keep cash going as long as possible, it is a tradable commodity of value right now. That's what we should continue to do. So what would be the world around us, and what would it look like if we went through a crash and there was no cash available and the banks are reeling and nothing's happening? Well, basically we're going to see none of the stores open. We're going to see poverty happen. People are going to lose their whole life savings, their money. We're going to see starvation. We're going to see anarchy. We're going to see people going round stealing. There'll be theft. And it's not going to be a very pretty world. I know if this happens that most of the population are not going to be able to cope with this. They are not prepared for it. So people out there are going to suffer greatly. I mean, if people go and do a run on the bank, and don't get me wrong, these corporations that have been taken from us and damaging our lives and causing problems, and even within the last 2 years we've seen it. You know, I don't like the idea that financial institutions are freezing accounts of those who have been to protests and truckers and anyone that's been involved with it. I don't think they have the right to do that. I am absolutely disgusted by the behaviour in that regards. But the countermeasure to do a run on the bank is tantamount to financial suicide and physical suicide for many. We need to think hard about the consequences of our actions right now, as we may well be playing out the exact scenarios that these tyrants want to bring about. It's the Great Reset, people. This is their goal. This is where the World Economic Forum want to bring forward their control system. If we are the people that usher this in through our actions, we are also to blame for what comes about from this. My last part and message to you is think about this. Think about what you're wanting to do. I am with you. You know I'm with you. You see what I do. You see the reports and the interviews I do. You go to the AtlanticUndergroundPodcast.com, you will see the people that we have spoken to over a long period of time who are experts, even in the financial field. You know, if you go and look at the interviews with the likes of Gregory Mannarino that are on there. All I can say, people, is be aware and take care. And do your research. And before you make any moves, make sure you are fully aware of the consequences of the actions. Stay safe, everyone. Thank you very much.